I was sent an article recently, actually by two people, and shout out to them because they know exactly who they are. And you're probably looking at this and just saying, okay, what am I about to talk about? Like, what is this about? I just see two black women advertising a shirt or some merchandise that says free Kyle. Well, it says free Kyle. It says free Kai, but they put asterisks where the L and E should be, but that's really what it's reading. And you're like, who are they talking about when it says free Kyle? But if you look at the line underneath where it says free Kyle, it says self-defense is a right, not a privilege. And basically, this is supposed to be a clothing line that Kyle Rottenhouse's mother has come up with in order to promote the, I guess you can say, freedom, quote unquote, of her son, Kyle Rottenhouse, because of what occurred a few months back, in Kenosha, Wisconsin. Now, at first, I was going to jump the gun with this and say, why would they even advertise? Why would they even jump at the opportunity to advertise this particular client, considering, that doesn't look right at all? Until I decided to read just a little bit more further into this and found out that these images of these models right here apparently are stock images. And now when I say stock images, I'm not talking about like, the typical stock images that you'll see on Google or anything like that. These are actual people. They're actual models. But what they did was, allegedly, Kyle Rottenhouse's mother and whoever she's working with photoshopped free Kyle, self-defense is a right, not a privilege, onto their shirts and used these models apparently without their consent. Now, based on what I've read so far, and I'm gonna read it for you, it says that these two models did not give consent for their images to be used. That's what they're saying, but we don't know if that is indeed true, whether or not they gave consent to use it or not. Hopefully they didn't. And if they didn't, hopefully they can go and sue the mother for not for using their image without their permission. And then especially to promote something that they may be against. This happens more often than people would think. To push, something like, how sometimes you'll have a website where they're promoting a certain brand, but they'll cut the head off, but you can see the neck so you can identify who that person is race wise. And it'll promote something that looks like it wouldn't coincide with who it should be. Now notice that they use the images of two black women, not two white women or two white men who are the biggest fans of Kyle Rottenhouse as far as we know, but two black women. So this Kyle Rottenhouse's mother, who was rotten herself, knew exactly what she was doing. But I'm going to go ahead and read this article and see what else that they're talking about. It says merchandise sold on the Free Cow store uses models with the clothing and text Photoshop onto them. It isn't clear if they consented to advertising clothing for Kyle Rottenhouse. So who knows what was on these particular clothes that they're wearing. Well, actually, I can see on the left the Champion logo right there on the wrist of the sweatshirt. So this is definitely a Champion clothing brand, which lets me now know even more that this is Photoshop, because I highly doubt the Champion would ever put something like this on their clothing item. I highly doubt it. See, they weren't smart. They didn't Photoshop it out all the way. They didn't Photoshop out the logo. So this lets me know that she was advertising something for Champion, which lets me know even further that they did indeed Photoshop that image. Now, I don't know what the one on the right is advertising, but they clearly covered their tracks, because I highly doubt she would just promote just a plain black tee. So they probably covered up what was there and then put that over it. Okay, it says Kyle Rottenhouse's family opened up a merch store to raise money for the 17-year-old charged with homicide, at one point selling free Kyle branded bikinis and sports bras to fund his legal defense. Wisconsin prosecutors have accused Rottenhouse of shooting and killing two anti-racism protesters and injuring a third in Kenosha this summer. He was arrested the following morning in Illinois and extradited to Wisconsin, where in November he was released on a $2 million bail. To raise money for his legal defense, which his mother estimates will cost between $2 and $2.5 million, his family is selling merchandise. His mother, Wendy Rottenhouse, wrote that she controls the defense fund. I alone control this website and Kyle's defense fund, she wrote. Upon Kyle's acquittal and return of the cash bail, Kyle wants to use the remaining funds to help others fighting for their God-given right to defend themselves, their family, and their community. Rottenhouse's family and defenders say Kyle Rottenhouse was acting in self-defense and has pled not guilty in the case. Much of the merchandise features the phrase, "Self-defense is a right, not a privilege," a quote attributed to him. Rottenhouse has become a right-wing icon. 45 declined to condemn Rottenhouse for killing anti-racist and protesters, and his administration has been directed to make sympathetic comments about him. According to the Free Kyle Twitter account associated with the family's website, the store received more than 400 orders before its vendor, Printful, cut them off for violating its acceptable use policy. The top-selling item was a Free Kyle logo mug, followed by a t-shirt. We have chosen to discontinue our business relationship with this store in order to mitigate business risk. See, they didn't want to have them use their store because they knew that they would lose business from maybe more top playing clients. So they was like, let's cut off this person so we can save, the rest. They say sacrificing this one won't hurt us, but if we keep them on, we're going to lose a lot. Ultimately, we don't want to be affiliated with a store that's involved in such a complex, controversial, and ongoing case. The Free Kyle Twitter account blamed #cancel culture on Printful deplatforming them and canceling existing orders, and have since moved to a different e-commerce platform to power the site. According to the Daily Mail, the Printful store included a $43 Free Kyle bikini and a $40 sports bra and a $25 crop top. The new web store has a more limited selection with beanies, t-shirts, hoodies, and mugs. It appears to show models with pro-Rottenhouse phrases digitally edited onto the clothing. It's not clear if the models gave their consent for their images to be used for the web store. A message sent through the Free Kyle website wasn't immediately returned. I hope that the two models right here come across this image of themselves and say that they didn't give consent and sue, if they can, the mother for using their images without their consent to push something that they don't believe in. Because like I said, whoever did this Photoshop did not do a good job with the one on the left, because they left the Champion logo in there. And I hope Champion sees this too and goes after her too, because they're a bigger company and they could definitely get her for photoshopping over their image to promote something that they may not believe in. Whichever comes first will be fine with me. The new website's source code shows that it is powered by the e-commerce platform Shopify. A representative for Shopify did immediately return insiders' request for comment. The Defense Fund website now shows that it has raised $59,000 through merchandise sales and direct donations so far. Yeah, so I was prepared to actually, kind of go off about this, but I'm glad that I read into it a little bit more before I decided to even press record on this video. But yeah, they definitely Photoshop these images, and if you kind of look at it a little bit, if you're a person that has done Photoshop, you can clearly tell that they did. You can really tell that they did. But nice try, Mrs. Rottenhouse. Nice freaking try. But y'all let me know what y'all think about this down in the comments. Like, share, subscribe, have your notifications turned on, have the bell clicked, and I will talk to you in the next one.